Today's lesson is showing you how to make a simple backpacking stove from a Coke can. All starts with a Coke can. We're going to cut the bottom and the top off of here at about 35 mils. You can use a little jig like this or a pair of scissors, but the idea is just to make a very even cut around the outside. And voila, we've got the bottom and the top of our stove. But we need to take the top, where the ring pull is, off the top of the can. We can do this with the point of a knife by just gently scribing around until just keep going round and round in a circle until the top pops off. Next we have to make the jets. You can do this with a pin or a needle or a brad awl. I'm using the tip of the knife blade here, but just want very, very small pinprick holes, about 1/4 of an inch between them, all the way around the top of the Coke can. And you can see where I'm making these on the actual Coke can lid, all the way around the outside like that. The final thing we need is a piece for the inside of the stove. I've cut a piece here that's 162mm by 35mm, and I've made 2 tabs on the end, but when you join them together will be the same diameter as the internal inside of the Coke can. They slot together like this. Those 3 holes at the bottom there allow the alcohol to go from the inside of the stove to the outside of the stove, and we'll show you that in a minute. Now, to fit these 2 together, if you use the measurements I've shown you, that should just clip into place underneath the rim of the can there, and should be held in place just by sort of pinching it there. There you go. The bottom of the Coke can, that needs to be crimped. In order to do that, I'm just using a pair of pliers here and just using a twisting motion just to crimp that Coke can. And all that's going to do is allow the top of the stove to fit over the bottom of the stove. I'm going to show you how to do that now. You can see those 3 areas there, those 3 little gaps. That's what's going to hold the fuel from the inside to the outside. And all I'm going to do now is push these 2 together. You can see how that crimping helps the top to slide right over the other side. There we go. And we just need to push these together, and if you've done this well, a good little friction fit should be absolutely fine. There you go. Just encourage it into place, and you can see around the outside of the can. You can tape that if you've got a Coke can split or whatever, and that inside wall there you can see quite clearly. Next we're going to fuel up the stove. I'm using methylated spirits here. You can use grain alcohol, but this is methylated spirits is probably by far the easiest way to fuel up the stove. You want about 30 grams. That'll boil 2 cups of water. And again, this is something that you use. There we go. Just lighting it now with a match. You can light it with a fire steel. And the idea is now for the stove to bring up to temperature. You'll know when the stove's up to temperature because a little rosette of jets come around the outside of the Coke can stove. You must always assume that this stove is on. There you go. You've got that little rosette of Coke can stoves there, and all we need to do now is put our metal cup that we carry in our backpack on top of the stove and boil ourselves up a nice cup of tea. And there you go. So there you go. There's your Coke can stove. Cheap, easy to make, and very efficient. Take care, and I'll see you on the trail. Thanks for watching.